Police telling Channel 2 someone fired shots during a recording for a music video. This all happened at a scrap metal business today. Channel 2.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so this is an interesting story. Now, you guys might remember that about a week ago, man. Yes, a week ago. Shout out to Bobby Shmurda. There was a story about the shooting at the 42 Dugg and Roddy Ricch video shoot. And it took place in Atlanta, and it was a big hoopla, man. It got a lot of national headlines because there was actual victims in the shooting. I believe there was 3 people who were actually shot and taken to a local Grady hospital there in Atlanta. And, you know, the story has been quiet since then. A lot of people have been putting things together. There was somebody who looked like they were being arrested on the scene, but it looks like another rapper might have been involved. Now, I say might because all of this is alleged. Now, there's a rapper by the name of OMB Peezy, who's from Mobile, Alabama, by way of Sacramento. Now, dude seems like he done got caught up in this whole situation because it looks like he got arrested, man. Now, before we go over his booking info and the charges and all that, man, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about OMB Peezy just a little bit. Now, OMB Peezy got himself in a pinch, as I mentioned before, right? So, OMB Peezy is from Mobile, Alabama, but he was raised in Sacramento later in his life, right? Dude had a song called Lay Down, and he ended up getting with Sick With It Records. Now, Sick With It Records is the record label that is owned and ran by E40. So he was definitely on that West Coast side of things, but you know how hip-hop is today, man. Everything kind of blends. The sounds mix together. So he's very popular in Atlanta. He mixes around in the Atlanta crowd real well, man. You see him in pictures with everybody, including one of, Lil Baby's artist, Roddy Ricch. I seen him in a picture with Roddy Ricch. I believe they have a video together. It seems like he's cool with 4PF. So you would wonder why there's allegations of him getting into it at a 4PF video shoot, to say the least. Now, 42 Dugg is 4PF, and he rolls with Lil Baby, and so does Roddy Ricch. But somehow, they're saying that OMB Peezy, who for all intents and purposes seems like he's cool with everybody on that side of things, you know, it got into a shootout. Now, this is what they're reporting so far. And this is taken straight from a lot of the news sources out there, but we're going to talk about his actual booking info in a second. Now, according to some of the most popular news sources, there's not much information on why the altercation allegedly took place or what was going on with OMB Peezy for them to pin this on him, because, you know, there was a lot of people at the video shoot. Now, Roddy Ricch and 42 Dugg came out after the situation and each said separately that they weren't the target of the shooting, they weren't involved in any shooting, and all they trying to do is just work on music. I mean, Roddy Ricch said this verbatim, that basically, nobody shot at me, I'm just out here trying to feed the streets, letting it be known that he's concentrated on his music. So it was no problem with him. So it looks like maybe 42 Dugg and Roddy Ricch weren't even on the scene for the video yet. They were probably in their trailers or something like that. And then, you know, all whatever broke loose. And that's when all the shooting and madness ensued. Now, OMB Peezy, I mean, he could have been on the set, but who knows, man? Like I said, this is alleged. And just because he's been booked doesn't mean that he's guilty. But it's been about a week, so you could tell that the folks there in Georgia have been doing their research and trying to find out what went down. So let's look at his booking info. Now, this right here is based on all the information saying that his name is LaParis Dade, excuse me. And this is his booking info. As you see, man, you have your charges there or whatnot. And then you look down and you see his bond amount or whatnot. And you could tell that, I mean, there's actually a bond. And just so you guys remember, man, in this shooting that 2 people went to the hospital, but nobody was fatally injured or anything like that. So all in all, I'm not sure how long OMB Peezy is going to be locked up. I mean, it looks like he has his bail amount set right there. So we'll see. But, man, let's do some backtracking as well, because some of you might not be familiar with the news story that kicked off. So let me go ahead and play that news clip for you right here.
Yeah, it's still active here as the sun's going down. It's across the street here. We're just off Northside Drive, south of I-20, and I want to show you what's going on. They do have this whole area. They at least have the whole area in the middle of the scrapyard blocked off. There's still a number of people up here, and I talked to a number of people that were a part of the production, some people directly, some people indirectly, and they said everyone scattered, took cover, ran. Some people heard 20 shots. Others told me maybe even more than that, up to 30 or 40 shots when they believe it was multiple people firing as a group came in here during the music video shoot. And I just got confirmation the two artists involved are rappers 42 Dugg and Roddy Ricch. Got that from the people here at that were running this operation here, or at least leasing this space out. And it's a popular spot for movie shoots, for films, for music videos, and this is where they were again shooting a music video this afternoon about 4 o'clock. We know at least 3 people were hit, but not seriously, according to one of the medics here who treated some of the people here at the scene. One man was shot in his thigh, and we understand from APD that 2 people are now in the hospital. They drove themselves over to Grady, and one other person may have been grazed. And we did see a man at least in handcuffs in the back of the patrol car. Not sure if he's been arrested or not. He did have some blood on his shirt, and he was being treated here as well.
Now, as you heard in that report, man, it was a crazy scene, man. So the 3 people shot, 2 taken to the hospital, whatnot. They went to Grady. Now, Grady is a hospital there in Atlanta, for those of you who didn't know. But that same reporter is the person who put out this post right here on social media that started the news storm where everybody was wondering, was it 42 Dugg or Roddy Ricch actually involved in the shooting? Man, because the initial reports that went out, people were, man, they were coming up with a lot of crazy, different accusations or, conclusions that, man, maybe 42 Dugg or even Roddy Ricch had gotten hit. And, man, to be honest, all of that stuff was fake. None of that ended up being true, but it was still a tense situation to say the least because of all the stuff that's been going on in hip hop with rappers. I mean, you're talking about Roddy Ricch, who's probably one of the top rappers in the game right now, and 42 Dugg, who has a solid career, a big hit under his belt, and he's on his grind on the way up. Now, to be honest, OMB Peezy isn't as well known as the rest of these artists that I've mentioned today, right? So his case might fall a little bit under the radar, but I'm pretty sure now that he's been attached to these 2 big rappers, everybody's going to see how this plays out, and we want to know exactly what went down, because as of now, OMB Peezy, it looks like he's looking at an aggravated assault charge with a deadly weapon and possession of a firearm during a felony. So he's got those 2 charges that he's looking at, and he's got that bail. But, man, it just don't look good for OMB Peezy right now. Now, what do you guys think, man? Do you think that OMB Peezy got into the situation because of maybe some jealousy or whatnot? Because that's what a lot of people are saying. And I'm assuming on his social media, his management is taking over his account because they're posting a lot of stuff in his favor, like this right here. You see somebody posted the arrest record, and then, they reposted it, whoever had his account. And then you have here where it says, "Free my dog OMB Peezy," and they reposted that. And a lot of people coming out to, show their support for OMB Peezy. I know it's probably a tough time because it seems like, man, he's got all the right connections, and he's right there as far as, establishing that next step in his career in the hip hop game. So what do you guys think, man? Now, this is a legend that, OMB Peezy actually committed these acts that he's being accused of. Do you feel that he went out on, just a shooting spree and, with no discretion for whoever was around? Or do you feel that maybe he's being wrongly accused because he is a rap artist and it's easier to attach his name to these situations, even if it wasn't him or anybody around him was in it? You know what I mean? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.